Hey guys, for today's video, I'm filming the second in my little 3-part mini series on the makeup products I would declutter if I could get my money back. And today is all eyeshadow. So I have a few singles, a few small palettes, but then I have a lot of large palettes that I have been holding on to for whatever reason. And I have an especially hard time letting go of palettes because they are the most expensive product that I own. And like I said, I've just felt a little anxiety about selling things. I have sold some things in the past and like actually the recent past on my sister's Poshmark, but Poshmark takes out like a lot of your money, although it's great, like the whole shipping thing that they work out. You just print out a label and put it in a bag and it's good to go. So I like that aspect because I'm really awful about going to the post office. And the one by our house, like the line is out the door always. So anyway, I think that there might be like a third to a half of these palettes that I would actually like to sell. And the other ones I think I'll just keep and hopefully get some more love out of. But looking at my drawer without these palettes in it, it like makes me happier to look at my palette collection, of course, because the number went down. I have room for more palettes in my drawer, but also because the things that I did keep, I'm like, okay, yeah, I love these, or I want to get more use out of them and I like them enough. So nothing in here is crap, because things that are crap, I do get rid of. But yeah, I'll explain as I go along. I'm going to try not to give too much detail about any one product because I have a lot here. This is going to be the longest video out of the 3 for sure. So first we are starting with single shadows, and you guys, if you follow along with my haul videos, you might not be surprised. I am including 4 of the 8 shades of the Hourglass Scattered Lights eyeshadows. I went on a spree trying to get these online after they showed up in BoxyCharm. And these 4 colors, I feel like I just don't need. The other 4, I can justify having them in my collection color-wise, but these I can't as much. So the first one is in the shade Foil, which is very similar to the Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pot in Sun Drenched, I think. And then I also have Burnish, which is similar to Beach Bay from the Tarte line, or I got the colors reversed. They're similar enough. I prefer the Tarte formula. I also have such a hard time putting my finger in this packaging because I have longer nails and I do like to apply a layer of these type of shadows with my finger. So these are very pretty. I like them, but I have similar shades from a similar but better formula in my opinion. And then for the other 2 shades, this one is Aura, which is more of a pink tone. I don't really wear shimmery pinks like this. I got this to really complete the collection, which I'm missing one, but I'm not gonna buy it. I need to not buy it considering I wish I didn't buy half of these. And it's not something where I'm like punching myself for it, but like I'd be okay having my money back now that like the idea is worn off and I don't really need it. And then we have Ray, which is a more silvery looking rose gold. And I do have Reflect, which I wanted to keep. No, wait, maybe that one's more silvery and this one's more warm tone. I don't know. Reflect and Ray are very similar. One is a little bit more silvery, one's a little bit more warm. And I really like a rose gold shade, and I don't actually have a rose gold from Tarte. I don't think they have one. So I did keep one, but I don't feel like I could justify the both of them. Saying this while I actually have them all in my collection. I have used each of these once, I believe, so I would definitely be down to sell some of those just because I needed to get that collector mindset out of here. Next is something that I have had in my chopping block for a couple years and I just can't let it go. This is a MAC Extra Dimension eyeshadow in Smoky Mauve. It's a beautiful color, a nice formula, and I like it when I make myself wear it, but I don't naturally reach for this. So I don't know, I'm gonna play with it a little bit more this winter. I don't know if anybody would be interested in buying it. Again, the point of this series is like things that I'm on the fence about decluttering because I don't want to just give them away. If I could get some money back, I think I would, but then I also get in this mindset sometimes like, well, I paid this much for it, I don't want to take this much. But if I give it away to someone, then I'm not getting anything back for it. So I got to think about it like that, but not get crazy. Then I have 2 shades of the Dose of Colors Block Party eyeshadows. And I got these when they were expensive. I did buy them with points, but I know that these have been going on sale on the Dose of Colors website. So maybe no one's interested in buying them because you can get them other places discounted. So this shade I have used, and this one is Encore. It is a warm brown. I got this because of Kathleen Lights. And then the other color is Teal Me More, a very pretty shade, but I have similar colors to this, and I just don't love this formula. I don't think it's the easiest to work with. The packaging is a little bit hard to open sometimes, or at least the Encore shade is, and it's like you have to dig your fingernail in there, which sometimes messes up my nail polish. So yeah, I just never reach for them. Next, I have 4 of the Obsessions palettes from Huda Beauty, and I have done a good job since these, except this one I got recently, trying not to buy these because the Obsessions formulas are incredibly inconsistent. I have several of her large palettes and I think the quality is great and consistent. These are not, but they're so dang cute. She comes up with great color stories, but I try to resist them. So I have 7 in my collection. 4 of them I would pass on if I could get some money back. But the other 3 that I absolutely love would be the nude versions. I have light, medium, and rich. I absolutely love those. Those are definite keeps. But then we have these 3. And this one is the best out of the 4. It is the Coral Obsessions. Very pretty, but I have similar shades, so I don't need this one. I especially love the shimmers in here though. It's very pretty. Then we've got the Neon palettes, and these actually like perform okay. I wasn't expecting the best. I heard pretty mixed opinions, but I bought these because when they came out, so many people made looks with them and they were so pretty, but I'm just not a neons girl. Now I have worn each of these like twice, I think, but that's it. I haven't even dipped into all of the shades. So this one's neon orange and this one is neon pink. Super cute palettes, but I just don't need those. And then this one, I told you guys when I hauled it, I probably won't like this, but I bought it for some reason still because I think I'm insane. And this is the Pastel Mint palette. I heard pretty bad things about all 3 of these, but this one is just so pretty. I really wanted to like it. No, like these 2 darker mattes show up nicely. The shimmers are nice. I feel like sometimes her shimmers can like seal up on themselves or be a little flaky and not have a ton of base pigment. They're mostly like a glittery shimmery effect, which is not what I'm looking for. But the shimmers in the Coral palette, like I said, are really good. They're a little bit like thicker where there is some base to them instead of more of like a topper like these. So this is good quality. I actually love the quality of this one. The mattes I feel like do need to be built up, which I didn't like at first, but I've like grown to be cool with that. But the others I just don't love. Like I said, this one's in here just because I have similar colors. This is something that I should not have purchased and I knew that, but because it was 50% off and it was leaving the website, I bought it. And this is the Dose of Colors Cutting Edge palette. So I did not mention my other Dose of Colors 5 pans in this video because they are in my chopping block. And those are things that I like am closer to letting go of than these, so that's why I'm not including those. And if I can get money back for those, that would be fantastic. I probably will try, but I don't like those matte shadows. So tell me why I bought this one. So there are 2 shimmers and 3 mattes, and the colors in here are very, very beautiful, very grungy. But I now have the Flower Punk palette from Kaleidos, which has similar shades to these. And it's a look that I don't think I'm gonna go for very often. So I don't necessarily have the need to have these shades in 2 palettes in my collection. So this is actually still unused, and I'm probably just gonna try to sell it unused because I just don't need it. My last small palette is from Ofra. This is the Sweet Dreams palette. It is so cute. In the middle you have a Pillow Talk highlight. Incredible. Their highlight formula is amazing. I love these shades, but I just don't love the performance. This is a satin finish shade. The other mattes I feel like need to be built up a little bit, which I don't like. And I have a very fair skin tone. So I know for people that have any pigment to their skin, they're gonna have to build it up even more. So this is something I definitely wanna play with more, but I won't buy any more Ofra 5 pans. They're just not that amazing. Now moving on to the large palettes. I sadly have a whole freaking basket full. Oh, that makes me sad. So the first one is another thing that I knew I should not have purchased, but I did anyway. And it is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. Colors in here are very pretty. And I thought that I would get a lot of use out of these neutrals, but I did create a look with them and they all blended into one another. And I know there's not a ton of difference in undertone or depth, but again, on my fair skin tone, usually I am able to see subtle differences between shades on my paper white skin, and that wasn't the case. I did do like a bright all matte look with this, and I thought that was very pretty. So I'm kind of hemming and hawing, but again, like the shimmers in here, some of them felt a little thin, that they didn't have that like thick, rich pigmented base to them, which was a little disappointing. So yeah, I think I can sell that one. I don't want to get rid of it because I did still pay some good money for that. And I'm so mad at myself for buying it. Like, Heather, if you knew you shouldn't have bought it. And part of the reason I knew I shouldn't have purchased because of the size, I would have to store it laying flat in my drawer, which means I wouldn't reach for it. So dumb. Okay. Then I'm just gonna like pull randomly and go. This is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. So many people love this, and I like to use the more like pastel shades here in the springtime, but then I totally neglect the other part of the palette. And I don't even feel like these neutrals necessarily go with these brights or pastels like some other palettes do, like the Glamlight Ice Cream Dream palette. I think the neutrals make sense with the brights. This palette, not as much. The quality in here is good, but because the colors are so kind of random for me, I just don't reach for this as much. And this one was expensive for some reason. It's beautiful, but no, didn't need it. Next we have a Naked palette. This is Urban Decay Naked Cherry, and I actually think this has a very good formula. Naked Heat and Beyond, Urban Decay changed their Naked formula to be better. It's a little more powdery, but it is more pigmented and it blends nicer. And there are a couple shades in here that I love, but I don't reach for this palette for these shades, probably because I just have a larger palette collection. But overall, I didn't necessarily need this. This is one that I will end up keeping though, because I'm thinking maybe if I have less palettes, I will use it more. And these two mattes, Feels and Juicy, I love. This shimmery pink Bang Bang is terrible. It seems like all their palettes have like one very chunky shade. That's it. I like the Turn On and Ambitious shimmers here. Like it's a pretty palette, didn't necessarily need it though. Oh, this shade Caution, that's a weird like clay like undertone, like wet clay. Just, I don't know. I don't like that one, that shade. Palette performs well. It just wouldn't make my top 20 palettes. Same with the Too Faced Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette. I did purchase this with some points, and I've probably used this twice. The colors in here are pretty, especially the shimmers, but the mattes, I'm just like, eh. Like, why did I buy this palette? I think the original Gingerbread Spice palette was the best one out of these that they've done. They have had 4 now, and I think that the first one was the best. So I would love to sell this. I returned the 3rd one, and I'm not buying the 4th one. I'm not. I don't need it. I don't need it. Next, I have a ColourPop palette that I went back and forth on picking this up, but I saw so many beautiful looks with it, and I got it for a great price, so I did. This is the ColourPop Menage a Moi. It was one of the holiday palettes from last year. 2 pressed glitters in here and 2 mattes with glitter. So already I don't like a third of the palette because of the formula. And you know, the shades in here are pretty, nothing super special. I have some similar shades from ColourPop and other brands, so I definitely didn't need that at all. I do think I can make myself sell that. Then I have a Too Faced Holiday palette. This was the Gingerbread House Party, I think is what it was called. The colors in here are so cute, and the shades in here are different from other Too Faced holiday palettes, which is why I bought this one. It came with a mini eyeshadow palette, it came with a face palette, a like a mini gingerbread man lipstick, a mascara. I put the face and eye palettes in a giveaway, so I'm happy I was able to give them to you guys. And while some of these shades in here are very beautiful, again, I'm not reaching for this palette for those couple shades, and I literally have only used this 2 or 3 times, so I think I probably will try to sell that. And guys, please encourage me to do so. And if there's anything that you're interested in, let me know, and you know, we can talk prices. Prices are definitely negotiable. Then the next palette is something that I really wanted. I think the quality is great, but I never use it, which I'm so mad at myself for. This is the Tarte Be a Mermaid and Make Waves palette. This was limited edition, and you have a lot of really beautiful maroon burgundy colors, which is very winter for me. And then you have a gold and a couple of blues, which is very summer. So again, because like that Mercury retrograde where it's like 2 different color stories in there that I don't think go together, I have a hard time knowing when I'm going to pull for this palette. And it should be in the winter time because that's when I wear a majority of the shades, but because of the packaging mainly, I would think about it in summer, but honestly, I just don't think about it in general. But again, I've only used this like 2 or 3 times. The performance is really good though, and that was limited edition, so some people might be interested in that. Next is something else that I knew I should not have purchased. It is the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream Palette. This was on sale at Sephora when Manny's brand was available there. And my friend Jean had it, loved it, said Manny had a great formula, and I really wanted to try it. And I had not yet purchased the Moonspell palette. And I again have used this maybe twice. And I love that matte peach, of course. You guys know that's one of my favorite kind of shades. And I think that these colors right here are very pretty. They remind me of something that would be in the Blood Sugar palette from Jeffree Star. But like this bottom row, girl, I ain't using these. This hot pink, these bright blues. What was I thinking? And this like, this color here, I don't like that kind of shade. I probably won't use that. That also feels very out of place with the other shades in this palette, but I don't know what I was thinking. I basically just wanted to try a palette from Manny, so I would be interested in selling that one as well because I literally never reach for it. And like, when I look at it, I'm like, Heather, you dummy, why'd you buy that? Luckily, there's only a few of those here where like I knew I probably wasn't gonna like it, but I bought it anyway. Next is a palette from Zoya. This is a Spice of Life palette. When this was not available easily in the US, I remember some UK YouTubers raving about this brand, and this palette was very lackluster. The mask needed to be built up a little bit, and the shimmers are shimmers. They are not metallic, and I don't want that. I want metallic eyeshadows, very rich, very reflective shades, and these are not that. Colors are very pretty. I really like that color selection. I just need some more punch. Then is something that I bought in a set with the Modern Renaissance. I repurchased Modern Renaissance. This is Soft Glam. I've also only used this one twice. I did not need this because there are a lot of repeat shades in here. Dusty Rose, Burnt Orange that I already have. Tempura is a repeat shade that I don't particularly love. And out of the shades in here, I have Sienna in a single. The only one I really wanted was Orange Soda because Lauren My Beauty used to be obsessed with that as a transition color. I should have purchased Orange Soda as a single and just continued to use my regular Modern Renaissance. I didn't necessarily need a new one. I had hit pan on some of my favorite shades, but they weren't gone yet. So I definitely regret buying that set in general, and I literally just should have purchased Orange Soda as a single because I don't need or already have the other shades. So that's definitely something that I would like to sell as well. Next is another Huda Beauty palette. This is the Naughty Nude. This was the holiday palette from last year. Again, I saw some really amazing looks with it, and they're very pretty, but this is a very deep palette, and I loved the shimmer finish that she had in her Desert Dusk palette. It was very rich, very metallic, and these are almost more like wet shimmers, and these marbled shades I think look pretty but don't actually show up that pretty on the eye. this shade down here is hoping like a caramel. It was just like a dark brown and it wasn't very shimmery. The mattes in here are all very dark to me, and the mattes are all brown. Whereas some of the shimmers are more pink, more red tone. The mattes, except for this one right here, brown. And I don't love it. And Huda palettes are very, very expensive. I love Nude and I love Desert Dusk, but I definitely need to keep this in mind when her holiday palette comes out this year. And part of the reason was probably because we weren't able to swatch things for the past year. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one and I want to try to get more use out of it, but the packaging is more burgundy than the shades. We only have a few more. I'm going to push through. My camera's trying to overheat, so I'm going to pick up the pace a bit. Urban Decay Naked Honey. I got this one for a great price. So many people really recommended this one. I made a look with it. Again, I used it like once. This shimmer HBIC, stunning. The rest of the shades, I could care less. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really like mustard shades. Again, these like yellowy, limey greens. I don't wear those kind of colors. I don't know. You guys know I love a warm neutral. I have so many from Anastasia I love, but this is not it for me. Part of me is like, should I try to use this again and see if I love it like other people? If HBIC was sold as a single, I would totally buy that, but I could really care less about the rest of the palette. I feel like empowered to sell things, which sounds like a funny word to use in this context, but that's how I feel. Oh, next is something that I've had for years and have not used, but I will use it this fall. Bet your bottom dollar. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Storm palette. Very pretty shades in here. I'm just mad at myself that I didn't use it yet, but I will be reviewing it for you guys this year because I will be using it. And yeah, I'm keeping it. I know that I could sell this because this is brand new, but I want to keep that. So I am. But it's more of just being like mad at myself. This is something else I haven't purchased. No, I haven't purchased. I haven't used yet. Looks very beautiful. This is the Too Faced L'Oreal Amor Caliente palette. I get this for a nice price as well. Haven't used it yet. I have very similar shades. I'm not going to use that hot orange, hot pink. So looking at the other shades in here, very pretty. But I have similar shades. I feel like I want to try it though. I do think you get more money for an unused palette than even a slightly used palette, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think I should do with that. And then, if y'all have seen the video of my unused makeup collection, I'll link in the cards. This is the oldest thing in my collection that I have never even swatched. It is a Dose of Colors Desi and Katie Friendcation palette. At this point, am I like, should I use it or should I just sell it? And nope, I think I'm gonna sell it. I don't need it. I don't need it, of course. These 4 shades here I love. Of course, I love the olive, but I have summer shades. It's not available anymore, so hopefully people would still be interested in that in case they missed out on it. Next is something else that I use with points that I'm punching myself for. This is the Anastasia Riviera palette. I knew, this is the last one that I knew I should not have gotten, but some people were making looks with it. After a month, nobody gave 2 craps about this palette, and people have seen it at TJ Maxx. Still for like a decently high price. No, I like the peach matte, of course. I like the blue, but I have tons of blue shimmers. These colors over here, not the business for me. I'm not gonna wear that hot pink. Like, did I even look at the colors in this palette to really break down what am I gonna wear? Because usually I won't buy a palette unless I'm gonna use like 60% of the shades or more. And that was like definitely like use 30%. So I would definitely like to sell that one. Okay, only 2 palettes left. My camera overheated. Of course, it couldn't let me get through these last 2. So lighting is probably different. Apologies. These last 2, I don't think I'm going to sell. I think I will keep them, but I didn't necessarily need them. But maybe if I get rid of some of these palettes, I'll use them more, which would be fantastic. And I know that the title of this video is makeup I would declutter if I get my money back, but I don't know about these. I don't know. This is the Nabla Dreamy 1 palette. The shades in here are pretty, and I was so excited when this became available at Ulta. I think I got it on sale like 20-30% off, but I was so excited because I'd seen people talk about this for forever, but it was not easily available in the US prior to it being at Ulta. Again, I've only used it a couple of times. When I remember, the shades perform nicely, but I think I have all these shades in my collection in singles or in other palettes, so maybe I'd think about that. And then, believe it or not, a Pat McGrath palette. This is the Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette. I have one of her 6 pans that came out holiday last year, and I like that one more color-wise. Rose Decadence, maybe. Only used this a couple of times. I wish there were more mattes. I prefer a palette to have more shimmers than mattes, but if you could have like 60-40, that'd be great to me. There are literally 3 mattes in here, and they don't go with all the shimmers. I do like all of the shimmers in here except these 2 I wouldn't wear. The other ones I do think are very pretty, but because I can't really get a full look out of this palette, I don't think to reach for this to use, you know, a certain shimmer on my lid. I want to, but I don't currently. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this one because like it's Pat McGrath, but. And my sticker is crooked, which drives me bonkers. For something that costs this much, y'all better get the sticker straight, okay? And that is it, y'all. I know that was a lot, but I'm really happy I did this video because I actually might sell some things. So again, please let me know if there's anything that you're interested in, and we can talk about price. And I want to be fair, but I want to make some money as well because everything here is in great condition. Only used, you know, 2-3 times or not at all for something. So thank you all for watching this video. I have one more part in this series. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it, and it's just been helpful so far for me to look at my collection a certain way, look at decluttering a certain way. And I am pulling the things right before I do the video, so I'm not taking too much time to think about it, just looking at my drawers and seeing like, what can I do with that if I can get my money back? So I'm gonna thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.